they did say that you will own nothing, have no privacy, and be happy. I think they got the last part wrong, but what did you think was going to happen here? Welcome back, beautiful and amazing human beings. My name is Luke Rudowski here of wearechange.org, and there's a lot of absolutely wild and crazy news out there, as there's a lot of disinformation, a lot of propaganda, a lot of fake news that we will be calling out, as Joe Biden just did a sit-down interview with CNN that went really bad for him, as Donald Trump is in a courtroom in New York City as we face a lot of existential threats to our humanity, internally, externally, naturally, and not naturally, as we're going to be talking about doomsday scenarios that potentially might or might not happen, all in this independent media broadcast. If you like the shirt that I'm wearing, you can get it on thebestpoliticalshirts.com, and the clip that we played in the beginning of this broadcast highlights just the reality of some people trying to live in metropolitan areas that have absolutely been hijacked by a woke mind virus that is there essentially to enslave them and trick them in order to love their servitude and masters. Yeah, you know what? No, thank you. I'm cool. I'm all right. I like the way I live now. Could we please just stop trying to squeeze every last penny out of the lower and middle class already? When is enough for these central controllers and globalists? Well, it's never, until they absolutely not just subjugate you, but eliminate you. This as one politician that has absolutely made life worse for everyone is, of course, Joe Biden, that did an exclusive interview with CNN talking about a lot of very controversial issues, which he didn't really reassure a lot of people on, especially when it came to the economy, as Joe Biden had this to say about grocery prices going up 30%.
What about, but there's real pain. Grocery prices are up 30%, more than 30%, since the beginning of the pandemic, and people are spending more on food and groceries than they have at any time really in the past 30 years. That's a real day-to-day pain that people feel.
It really is, and it's real. But the fact is that if you take a look at what the people have, they have the money to spend. It angers them and angers me that you have to spend more. For example, the whole idea of this notion that Senator Casey talked about, shrinkflation. I think it's on your
Same
program.
Price for a smaller bottle of juice or something.
For example, Snickers bar, they did a thing. And it's like 20% less for the same price. That's corporate greed. That's corporate greed. And we've got to deal with it. And that's what I'm working on.
Yes, in agreement, nods the CNN puppet anchor that probably was given questions to ask him before the interview, a part of a larger kind of scripted PR effort. As it's pretty fair to say, with the government printing money out of thin air, that corporate greed probably isn't that big of a factor here, especially when it comes to the United States being $34 trillion in debt here, as there's a lot of larger financial pressures on a lot of private businesses, especially when it comes to taxes, regulations, and bureaucratic Beckies imposing their will on individuals that are just trying to provide a service for the general public, as Joe Biden today is being blasted as totally clueless, out of touch, for claiming that Americans have, quote, money to spend in his response there. As he also went on and then claimed some fake statistics when it comes to inflation, which the government official numbers on are pretty bunk compared to the actual reality of what's really happening out there in the financial markets, as the situation is made that much worse, especially when it comes to the cost of housing, which goes up, the cost of labor, that goes down, especially with salaries, with open immigration policies that allow a lot of people to come in and put pressures on a lot of those factors, as House Democrats just voted unanimously to give illegal aliens representation in Congress and the Electoral College in the next census database that, of course, will be collected and probably change drastically the House of Representatives in favor of the Democrats that probably will have it in its grips of power forever for now, as woke leftist Democratic inner city policies have absolutely wrecked a lot of industries that we previously took for granted, as there's now 3 Boeing crashes within the last 2 days. One recently in Senegal, another one in Turkey, as whistleblowers from this company mysteriously are losing their lives. But don't worry, the U.S. federal government is on top of it, and they're implementing more track, trace, database, and intrusive privacy-violating facial recognition technology at airports now. That's not going to really make any kind of difference, but only kind of destroy more of your civil liberties. As I recently went through one of these latest new TSA's new facial recognition scanners, which I was like, what the hell is this? What? You're now going to take a biometric measurement of my face, of my eyes? You're going to scan me? Excuse me? No, the hell you're not. And then the fat, morbidly obese, blue-gloved TSA agent was like, whoop, okay, please walk around here. And I'm like, hey, guys, you have a right of refusal, which a lot of people do not recognize, do not understand. But I think it's important to tell people this, as, of course, right before you're about to go through the scanners, right now they have new cameras. And they say, hey, put your face in the camera. You have a right of refusal, which you should use and utilize, as, of course, this is probably going to be made mandatory if enough of people comply with it. If enough people say, no, hey, I don't want my face scanned here. Can you not? I don't want this. You have every single right to refuse it, and then simply the TSA agent just has to check your ticket like he used to. This, as of course, government databases, especially when it comes to your private information, are extremely vulnerable, have been hacked many times, and probably will be used for some larger sinister purposes when it comes to setting up a track, trace, database, social credit score-like system here in the United States. As again, the priorities of the U.S. federal government are not to help you, but to spy and control almost every aspect of your life and private enterprise. This, as the American people aren't doing too well, mentally, physically, spiritually, as the number of people who believe in God and have some kind of religion in their life is dramatically going down. Incidences of self-harm, of people hurting themselves, going up more than ever, as well as tumors that have also been rising increasingly dramatically, especially in young people, as we have a major health epidemic that we cannot tell you more about unless we, of course, talk about it on our own platform, LukeUnfiltered.com, which we will. Right after this broadcast, we have a special unfiltered broadcast just available for members, as we are also going to be doing some nature hikes probably in about 2 weeks near Washington, D.C., and in late June in New Hampshire. So new nature hikes, the dates and locations will be revealed just for members, probably in a few days from now. But if you're a member, you get to participate in this hike. You also get to participate in the live podcast episodes that we do 3 days out of the week, as we just had a really incredible show with Andrew Meyer and, of course, Mark Lobin of Tiger Fitness. By the way, we just set up an affiliate account because he does a lot of really cool stuff with Tiger Fitness. He sent me some of his products a couple years ago. I actually still keep using them because they're actually really good. They're really legit. And after talking to Mark for a number of years now and finding out about his business and the studies he actually pays for to conduct on his particular products, he's the real deal. As he's also offering us a 10% store-wide discount with promo code Luke, L-U-K-E, through our official link down in the description below, as he has a lot of really cool, incredible products that you guys should check out and support his company, his industry, that really is doing a lot of really cool things in the culture war, promoting health, promoting exercise, weightlifting, and becoming the strongest, best version of yourself, as these are the companies that I want to work with. And that's why we just set up this affiliate code, promo code Luke, and our website, which is linked down in the description below, so we could promote good products, help each other out, and promote a larger culture of being the best personally responsible version of yourself, while also becoming someone that you truly love and respect as yourself. Because being strong, being fit, being happy is a modern day act of resistance. Click the link down in the description below. And of course, more conversations on health and personal well-being right after this video on LukeUnfiltered.com. This, as the world, of course, becomes more tumultuous and less safe, as the Metro in the UK has a very interesting article that we will talk about in full detail in just a little bit, describing how a supercomputer now is predicting that humanity will face a, quote, triple whammy extinction event. Now, how will this extinction event happen? Will it happen because of civil strife? As today, the CEO of Palantir, a private intel agency, came out and criticized a lot of the larger social division in our society right now, as Alan Karp said that the larger protest movement on college campuses now in the United States is a, quote, existential threat to the American empire. Going on and saying, quote, if we lose the intellectual battle, we will not be able to deploy any army in the West ever. This from a man that uses artificial intelligence data collection as well as other data harvesting methods to predict and to, quote, secure the future, that just started a very interesting conversation about the future of this country that is at stake, especially when it comes to this upcoming presidential election that is ever so creating a larger divide amongst the American people. This as today, Stormy Daniels is on the stand being interviewed by Trump's lawyers, as Barron Trump might be entering politics soon, as he is entering to be a Florida delegate at the GOP convention, and according to some people, might be positioning himself in order to be a future politician in this country. And maybe if it's not civil strife that's going to lead to our existential threat, maybe it's a larger war, as Vladimir Putin just warned of a total, bigger, wider global conflict during his Victory Day parade, which highlighted a lot of the nuclear missiles that, of course, the Russians have. This as the American corporate media is describing 2 years of, quote, devastating war losses as the number of tanks at this V-Day victory definitely was significantly reduced compared to, of course, other years. This as Vladimir Putin is, of course, vowing to always be ready to use nuclear weapons, as he described that his country is, quote, going through a difficult time. This as tensions between the East and the West definitely are very heated and are expected to get more heated as the larger proxy conflicts against these two larger nations and ideologies keep clashing at each other. This has also, very interestingly, Russia also just blocked a free speech video platform from its country, a platform that we can't even mention here on this platform, since, of course, if we do, our viewership is significantly reduced, as Chris Pavlovsky, the CEO of this company that we can't mention here, has described how Russia has officially blocked its entire platform because they refused to comply with their larger censorship efforts. Now, will it be civil strife? Will it be a larger geopolitical war? Will it be the expansion of it through biological warfare memes that will lead to the end of humanity from this supercomputer prediction that will, of course, be the triple whammy extinction event? Well, will it be all three of those things as the supercomputer predicted? Nope. As the supercomputer predicted this extinction event from happening in 250 million years, when the continents of all the land masses in the world come together and create a situation that would be unlivable for the rest of humanity. So yeah, you probably didn't see that one coming, but if I was going to be, of course, predicting a super whammy, larger kind of threat, triple threat against humanity, it would be all of those three things that I mentioned, that we should be working all together as part of one humanity, trying to reduce the risk of and trying to stop while addressing those problems. And if you agree with that, share this video with your friends and family members, as, of course, the end is not nigh. The world is still inhabitable. There still is a potential prospect of peace and prosperity through, of course, liberty and freedom. A reality that is only possible with your mindset and you as a human being standing up for those larger ideas, that when you do, you realize the larger kind of amazing beauty and power within it. So yeah, that's my 2 cents. I got one more video coming your way on lookunfiltered.com. Subscribe, click the notification button. We are going to be doing a lot of really fun events in the future. We're going to be traveling, and we're going to be live at very sporadic moments with some really incredible people. You want to be a part of it? Click subscribe, click the notification button, click yes, I want to actually see the notifications here, because when we do go live, it's going to be some really awesome, interesting stuff. And we can't thank you guys enough for participating in this independent media broadcast. Stay tuned for more here. This is why also I love you guys. Stay tuned for more here on youtube.com/wearechange.